Welcome to the 5th annual Twin Tiers Outdoor Expo Show. I'm your host, Frank Akam, and I'm being joined by Joe Zamperzinski and Bill Christian.
How you doing, Frank?
Welcome back. It's been 5 years already. Tell us how the Twin Tiers Outdoor Expo has been so successful these 5 years.
Well, I think when you look around and people look at their lives and they say, what was really cool? I learned how to fish with my grandfather. My family and I went kayaking. You know, the memories that are created in the outdoors, there's something special about them. It resonates with people, it bonds families together, and we find in this area where it's such a beautiful place to live with 4 beautiful seasons, pristine waterways, lakes, and rivers. There's so much to do in the outdoors in 4 seasons that it just was a natural for us to put the show on. And Joe and I have traveled around the country now and been to many, many different outdoor shows. And you know, over 5 years, we've slowly gotten it a little bit better every year, and now we think we've put together just a dynamic, really interesting show.
I agree with you, Bill. And the things that do make it continue to grow is our vendors. Our vendors, you know, the different vendors that we get in, the outfitters, the people who sell product, whatever it is, the more those different vendors help build the show. In addition to that, we've geared it towards kids. Yeah. We've made it a family event, you know, and it's been growing ever since.
Well, every year you have new additions. Let's start with one of those new additions, and that's Peter Weimer, the author of I've Seen Bigfoot. Tell us about this.
I'll take that one, Frank. You know, whether you believe in Bigfoot or you don't believe, there's something that is just fascinating about the subject. And here in New York, there have been over 100 sightings of Bigfoot.
Which I think is crazy.
Which may be crazy.
That's me.
Maybe, in the southern tier of New York, Peter Weimer is a guy who had an experience, and he not only is saying he saw Bigfoot, but that he actually wrote a book about it, I've Seen Bigfoot, and he made a movie about it called I've Seen Bigfoot. So we're really blessed. We tried to get him last year, and he was booked and he couldn't make it, and so he's going to come, and he's going to actually have 3 town hall meetings, basically, where 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday at the First Arena in Elmira, and basically he's going to talk for about an hour about not just the stuff that he's seen, but the experiences he had with other people who have had their own experience, and then open it up to the people from our area in the northern tier of Pennsylvania and the southern tier of New York. There's a whole lot of people that think they might have seen something and they're not sure.
They can share their sightings, they can share their experiences, whatever it is, they can talk about it.
And if you haven't seen it, come on out and enjoy the ride. I mean, it's a really interesting thing, and we've only had promos on for a little bit about this, and it's just spiked the interest in people saying, okay, now I'm going. I thought I was going to the show, now I'm going.
It's amazing the following, Frank. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's got a huge following.
A new addition, as well as Peter Weimer, is a mechanical bull. Tell us about that.
Yeah, mechanical bull from Raptor Z Rodeo Ranch. They're going to be doing a show about a couple weeks after our show. So they're bringing in that mechanical bull, and anybody from 5 and up can ride it for free. You know, they'll cut it down to speed and power for the kids that are the young kids and stuff like that, but it's all free. They can come in, they can ride, they can take a chance to win tickets to their event that's coming to the arena. We're excited about that.
And this is why we're calling it a family event, really more than ever, because you have so many things. It's not just a bunch of booths where you can buy some, you know, jigs and some bows and arrows. This is educational. We have so many things for children and for families. We have the trout fishing pond back for the 4th year, which is just a massive hit. You know,
over 140 fish that, you know, made a trout, rainbow trout, brook trout, you know, all of them. We've got everything there for kids to catch fish.
And we deal with the Boy Scouts of America. They come in and they run the whole thing, so they earn a badge while they're doing it. They'll put the bait on the hook for you. It's catch and release. And you can see these fish right there at the First Arena. You can see there's 100 fish in there, and they're about, you know, this big each.
Yeah, there's some big ones in there.
And they're hungry.
And they're hungry.
They're hungry.
And Joe cut a deal with the city of Elmira to, when it's all over, to stock even further
Eldridge Lake. Yep, we've got that.
These. So these fish go on and on and on and keep serving the community. So it's really a give back to the community.
And the guys from the Boseys are helping us do that. They're the ones that'll release the fish into the lake.
And you mentioned it's a family event, you mentioned for the kids, and there's also the youth section of the turkey calling contest. I know it's open, amateur, and youth, so really it's for everybody, for all age groups.
All age groups, and you don't have to be a great turkey caller to just see how good you are against competition. The turkey calling contest is on Sunday, You have to register by the end of the day on Saturday.
They put up a curtain.
They put up a curtain.
So the judges are on one side.
are on one side of the curtain, and then they have different calls that you can use, and they ask you to do different things, whether it's a fly down cackle when the bird comes off the roost, or whether it's a yelp from, you know, once the bird's on the ground, or if it's a cackle, or if it's a purr, or whatever. They ask you to do those different things, and then they judge you off you, and they rate you off of it.
And some of the young guys and gals are really outstanding at this. You wouldn't be able to tell.
I've seen little kids in there that are 5, 6 years old just cranking away on that slate call and looking good and sounding good. It's funny.
And one of the nice things is they could buy that call right there that day at the Twin Terrace Outdoor Expo.
Yep, they can buy them from Oak Ridge Outdoors. They sell calls there, and they can buy them right from there.
Another thing we're having.
That, by the way, just one more thing. That turkey calling contest is sponsored by Ram Archery this year.
Another thing that we didn't have before is we've got some alpacas. There's all kinds of wildlife at this thing.
Oh, yeah.
We've got people bringing in alpacas. We've got, backed by popular demand, our
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey by Bay Wings Falconry. Everybody wants her to come back. She's got owls, she's got falcons, she's got hawks, and she's got about 6 or 7 different birds. She does demonstrations.
Puts on a great display.
In the first arena.
Yeah, kids get involved in it. They fly through hoops. They fly in between people that are real close and don't even touch them. It's amazing how those birds can get through tight spaces.
Yeah, I was talking to a falconry guy. There aren't that many. There's only a few falconers left, even though it's the oldest hunting, man-made hunting experience in the world.
Started a long time ago.
These people that are in that business, they consider themselves mostly in the business of raising mice, because they have to feed these birds. Go through thousands of mice, and especially when they're training them or when they're in captivity, they can't just go out and hunt for themselves. And so, if you think about how much it would cost to go to the whatever store and buy a mouse, it's pretty expensive. So they actually have to breed thousands of mice just to keep these birds alive. But Sherry from Bay Wings Falconry, she'll bring in. There'll be a hurt bird hit by a car or something. She'll nurse them back to life.
Screech owl, Harris hawk. There's just a bunch of eagle, owl, a red-tailed hawk. I mean, she brings in a whole variety of birds.
One of the ways I like to shake cabin fever, Joe, is to get the outfitter pamphlets, and I get to read them all winter long. It gives you something to look forward to, different seasons. Tell us about some of the outfitters that'll be there.
One of them that's my favorite, which we're actually filming in his man cave today, is International Outdoor Consulting. Steve McMichael. He's great. He'll help you find whatever hunt you want, from Africa to Alaska, here in the United States, wherever. He can help you find a hunt.
And when you look around the building we're in right now and see all the different animals that he has harvested, it's spectacular. I mean, we're talking about water buffalo and zebra, and I mean,
a brown bear.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
And today, and what is great about this show is you can just interact and get some information. Mm-hmm. One of the things that you'll learn is that as the dollar has gotten stronger and stronger, and some of the other currencies around the world have gone down, things that used to be really not affordable are suddenly very affordable. And I think an African safari, to hunt or to do a photography safari, is as reasonable as it's ever been. It's really almost as much as going out west to something. You can go to Africa and have absolutely an adventure of a lifetime.
Steve McMichael, Northeast Rep for International Outdoor Consulting, is joining us. Thanks for being on the show.
Well, it's a pleasure. Glad to be here.
What is International Outdoor Consulting?
What we do is the guy that I'm working with out of Montana, he's been doing it for like 30 years. And he has connections, all over the world, literally from New Zealand, Africa, anywhere you want to go, from South Africa to Tanzania or whatever. And we do a lot of local, or not local, but in the country, all over to Alaska, BC, Canada.
If people contact you, what is it that you do for them?
What I do is, I just try to find, the people I try to find what the people are looking for a specific hunt, and try to hook them up, in the best area. If you're looking for an elk, or if you're looking for a moose in Alaska, or, whatever you're looking for, I just try to, work with the people and get them, the best, that they can get. And what we do is, what our specialty is the places that we send our clients are places that we've been there before. And hunting's hunting, there's no guarantees, but we try to set the people up with the best connections we possibly can.
What areas do you cover?
We're from all over the world, really. Been to Argentina a bunch of times, and then we go New Zealand, all the way over to Africa. We do all the countries in Africa, and BC, Canada.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to find you at the Twin Tiers Outdoor Expo. Where will you be set up?
We're going to be in booth number 40 and 42.
Steve, you have a beautiful place here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Glad you can make it.
And let's talk more here about the Twin Tiers Outdoor Expo. A big popular guest each year is Bob Folkrod.
Bob Folkrod, our featured speaker. Love Bob. You know, we have a show that we run on our Big Fox TV that people are talking about. You know, they get back to him whenever he's at a mall or at a restaurant. He has somebody come up to him and, you know, hey Bob, I love your show. You know, I watch it all the time.
Can I have your autograph?
You know, can I have your autograph? Can I get a picture with you? You know, it's amazing the people that know Bob. You know what he does, know what he stands for, likes what he stands for. You know, and he's just a great guy all around.
He's one of the
and
world's
a professional hunter.
He's a premier hunters in the world. I know one of his most recent and fascinating things that he's going to talk about in one of our seminars is his search for the elusive Marco Polo sheep, which is at 15,000 feet in Russia.
In Russia.
With a bow and arrow. This guy is one of the few people that's actually ever done that.
And if you've watched the show on us, that's one of the hunts that he did.
So he's a fascinating guy, and we're blessed to have him.
Yep.
And Bill, you touched on something a little earlier, but I like the idea that you can ask questions and you can be a part of it. It's not just you go to the booth and no one's making eye contact and you move away. You end up talking about whatever your outfitters, whatever you are looking forward to, you'll find out a lot more information.
That's the great thing about our vendors. All of our vendors are great people.
Knowledgeable.
They're knowledgeable. They have great product. They'll talk to you. They're not, you know, they're not stumps. They don't just sit there and let you walk by. They engage with you. We've got people like that. That's the great thing about our
they're
vendors.
Passionate about what they do. If it's you know, a fishing guy or a gun guy or a bow and arrow guy, these guys really love what they're not just hawking product. They love it, and they are experts, and they do it in their spare time, and so they have lots of tips that they can share with you, and they love to share. They absolutely love to share.
Not only, I mean, we have other great outfitters that are going to be there. You know, we've got a guy that just signed from Ohio who's coming. We've got for whitetail and turkey. We've got a guy from Maine Trophy Outfitters. He's a bear outfitter. You know, Dan Wagner's a great guy.
And he drives what?
He drives 14 hours.
14 hours.
14 hours to come
just to come to the show.
It's just to come to the show and be there. He's had great success. He's a great guy to talk to. He is very, very knowledgeable about the black bear, and he'll help put you on a bear that you want to shoot. In addition to the outfitters, though, are some charters that we have. You know, we've got, you know, Can't Get Enough Fishing charter that will set you up in Alaska at, you know, anytime you want. Whenever the fish are in, he'll set you up with.
And these Alaska things that you go on, I mean, you may be going for the fish or the salmon or whatever they're going, but the wildlife in Alaska is spectacular. You go in June or July to Alaska and you are seeing bald eagles every day. You're seeing bear. You're seeing stuff that you would just never see anywhere. So it's not just, hey, I got to catch a trophy fish. It is an
You will
adventure.
see a variety of animals on any river you travel in.
And breathtaking scenery.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, another one is Release Sport Fishing in Hatteras, North Carolina. You know, he's new to the show. We're excited. He's our first Atlantic Ocean charter. We're excited to have him along. Can't wait to see what he has to offer.
And that's you know, if you don't have the time or the ability to go to Africa or to Alaska, it's not that long a drive. You can get in your car and drive down to Cape Hatteras and jump out and even, again, as part of the family theme, you could bring the whole family and you have the beach right there. You can have, you know, spend some time with the kids on the beach, but then take half a day or whatever.
Yeah, you can plan your vacation out there on it, no doubt.
Now, last year at the show, one of the reasons I went is I wanted to find out about taxidermists because I got a nice bug. This year I didn't get anything, but I still want to learn about taxidermy. There's a lot of taxidermists there.
Fins and Feather is back, you know, and he's a great guy. He does a great job. You know, you can go talk to him. He can give you an idea of different poses you can get with your whatever animal you want to have done.
Well, Joe, each year I look forward to hearing from Chemung County Sheriff Chris Moss, and you have a lot of speakers. I thought you could talk about him and some of the other seminar speakers.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Moss we're glad to have him back. You know, he'll be there for Saturday for his seminar. You know, if you have any kind of questions you have about, you know, the SAFE Act or purchasing a pistol or getting your permit, whatever it is, he can help answer those questions during that time.
And he's really, I think he's our area's foremost expert on the SAFE Act. And there's a lot going on with that right now. There's been, between the changes in our federal government, but even on the local level or the statewide level, which is where the SAFE Act came from, you have a bill in the Senate right now to, I don't think repeal it, but to change it and make it a little more palatable. And he's an expert on that. So he always gets a big crowd because he knows what's going on.
Yeah, there was the Chemung County and Bradford County initiative that they did, which was PA, New York State last year. I'm sure there's people that want to know how that's going, and he'll answer any questions about it. Yeah.
Also, you were talking earlier off the air, coyote hunting.
Oh yeah, Sherry Beatties. She's one of our new speakers this year. She'll be speaking one day on Saturday. I've coyote hunted with friends before, and I've hunted fox and all that. But when it comes to calling and shooting coyotes, she's the best in the Northeast. You could probably say she's the best in the country, no doubt. And people will tell you that. Bob Folkrod will confirm it. I mean, he knows how good she is. It's not just calling with a coyote call. She can call them in with a crow call. It's amazing how versed she is in different calls that she could bring them in. It's
and
amazing.
coyotes, I mean, it's a really important thing because they don't really have any natural enemies in this area.
None.
Except for man. And they are definitely becoming invasive. And we hear them in our backyard and paint and post all the time. We're always afraid about the dogs.
You need her to come and shoot them.
She knows where they are and how to get them and what to do with them.
Wait till you see the new scope she has. It's got the heat sights on it and all that. I mean, it's cool. It's got a big screen on it. You can see through. Wait till you see that. She'll have it on display.
Great.
And Joe, I don't know if this is considered a seminar, but every year, Upland and Antler Kennels, training pointer dogs and shed hunting dogs. Can people come to that and ask questions? Because there's a lot of work involved in that.
Absolutely. Scott Casterline does that, and he does a great job with the pointers. And this year, I think he's bringing in retrievers, which will actually, they'll find sheds for you, antler sheds. That's kind of a hot thing right now. People who own their own property, they want to see what's left out there or what made it through the season, and they'll go out and find these sheds. Well, they're not easy to find, but you can train your dog to actually find them. So he'll be there to help teach you how to train your dog on that.
But not necessarily just a pointer. It could be almost any kind of...
Retrievers are the best, but it can be pretty much any sporting dog can do it.
Another speaker, while we're going through them, Old Tin Cup. I mean, this is a really hot topic too. A lot of people have a piece of land. It might be in their backyard, or it might be something that they purchased to hunt with. And really, the management of that is critically important. It's like night and day on whether you're going to get the monster buck to come through or not. And we're talking about teaching you what kind of seed to put down, what kind of trees or bushes to grow,
what trees to cut,
waterways, what to go.
What paths to make, cut downs where they lay down, and those are areas that you can walk in and not spook deer, places where they can hide, they can bed down. I mean, Ben Williams does a great job, and we laugh about it all the time, but he is an old soul. He really is. He's a great kid to talk to, and he's a kid. He's 20-some years old, I'm not sure, but he's a great kid, knows his business, knows that whole thing. He went to school in biology, he went to school for that topic, and he does very well with that. He'll help you. Any questions you have on any piece of property you have, he will help you make it better, to hold more deer, to bring more deer to your property, and eventually you'll have those big bucks.
And we have seminars about fishing. We've got Tom's Bait talking about, specific to New York State. There's so much fishing going on in this state between the Finger Lakes and the ponds and Catherine's Creek, and Tom is just the north side of Pennsylvania, and he is doing a whole seminar on, down to the specific of what color plastic jig is best for a specific rainbow trout. It's a really interesting seminar.
Or for a bass, or what the daylight is, whether it's overcast or sunny, or whether the water's murky or clear. He can tell you what colors to use. He knows all that.
And it is so informational in general, the Twin Tiers Outdoor Expo. You've got groups like the New York State Buck Club, the New York State DEC Conservation Police. We all have questions there, right?
Oh my God, I'm so glad that those guys are with us. The New York DEC, the Pennsylvania Game Commissioner, those guys are great to have at these types of shows, because if you've got a question about an animal that's a nuisance, or you want to know when the next season is coming up, whatever it is, these guys can answer those questions.
And eagles are such a hot topic right now, and these guys have put cameras in actual eagle nests in Pennsylvania, and they run a live feed right into their booth that people can see what's going on. It's an important time of year for eagle right now, and it's fascinating, the stuff they
I actually
know.
saw two of them chasing each other the other day. It's kind of funny.
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah, PA.
Another thing that happens every year, I either buy too many raffle tickets or I become members of so many organizations. You've got Finger Lakes Friends of the NRA, Waterloo Rifle and Pistol Club, Wounded Warriors, so many great organizations that really
Vietnam
do need your
veterans.
support.
Yeah, they're all there to help do their thing for their people, and we do some things with the Vietnam veterans where they have some guns available for people to raffle off, some great guns. The Muddy Girl, there's a Marlin 22 semi-auto, and there's a Mossberg shotgun. Buy a couple raffle tickets and take your chance. You'll be happy. Numerous times I've called people and I say, hey, you want a gun? Really? I did? They're so happy about it. It's funny.
We've been focusing the last couple of years on how exciting it is that the eagle population is coming back to New York after being gone, obliterated. And that's a really fascinating story. But there are other animal stories going on, and we've got a great new booth this year. For years, there were sturgeon, beautiful, huge fish, in the Finger Lakes around here. And they just disappeared, I think, about 75 years ago. And I don't know the whole story on why, whether it was man or pollution or what, but they are gone, or were gone. And a small group of people up outside of the Syracuse area decided that they were going to try to repopulate some of these lakes. And they've come in, and they started with that little lake just on the south of Syracuse, that Oneida Lake, and started there and had some success just a few years ago. And over the last couple of years, they've been introducing more. They get eggs, they grow them a little bit, and then they release them into the ponds. And they have just gotten into Cayuga. So they're getting closer and closer to us.
They're working their way through that waterway, and they're eventually. I mean, we don't know, or they don't know, but they think maybe there could be some in Seneca Lake right now.
Yeah, but he'll show up with, these are fish this big.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll
They're
show up with actual trophies that were now caught again in the Finger Lakes.
Another thing, kids can go and they can hold it up and take a picture of themselves. So yeah, it's informative.
$7
it's
to get
educational.
in. Children 12 and under for free. It's a pretty good deal. You got free fishing. You got a free eagle show, or a hawk and owl and falcon show. It's a pretty good.
One of the other things we had is National Guard is bringing in their shooting simulator, and that's open to anybody, kids to adults. They can actually shoot in some sort of a truck they have that they use. You can get in there and shoot any weapon you want to shoot, pistol, rifle, machine gun, whatever it is. They'll have those types of things there for
Is there an
kids to
age
do.
thing on that?
I don't believe so, but I think any kid who's tall enough or whatever can do it, and sensible. Right.
Yeah, and again, no extra charge for that kind of stuff.
That's all free.
I feel like that's going to be a very popular booth.
Yeah.
We've talked about outfitters, we've talked about fishing, but we never got down to the actual equipment needed to hunt and fish. Are there going to be a lot of gun and fishing supply groups there?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest ones that's back for us, who has lots of apparel and things that, whatever it is that you need for hunting, he's got it, is Hesselson's. They're one of our local guys who has been around for years, and they've been with us since the beginning of our show, and we love having him, and anything you need, he's got a great deal on it.
Well, yeah, I talked to Tom Witzel. What he loves about this show is it's kind of just at the end of the winter season, and he's got a lot of stuff that he brings out, just racks and racks and racks of clothing and boots and gloves and hats, long underwear, camouflage stuff, and
cameras.
He's ready to make a deal because he's ready to push that season behind him. And after he carts it out to the first arena, he really doesn't want to bring it back to the Hesselson store in Big Flats or in Elmira Heights.
Right.
So he cuts. There are great deals going on there, and a lot of people will come to the show just to buy his clothing.
Another one is Up in Arms out of East Smithfield, PA. They're great guys down there, and they really are very aggressive right now, trying to make their business work. And they're going to be there. They're going to have guns on display. They're going to have new product there that people can see. Once again, show them what gun you want. Go down to their store down in East Smithfield, fill out the paperwork, and it's yours.
And our friends at Ferrario, you got to get to the woods, and they have some really great vehicles that'll be on display outside. We're shutting down Main Street and Gray Street.
About 4 or 5 trucks out there. They'll have 2 or 3 inside the arena. You know, anything from, you know, Ford, Dodge, Jeep, you know, any of those, they'll have them there. Roush, whatever, they'll have anything there that you want, and it's all the big stuff. It's
Right.
not- it's
And
not
if you
little.
need a trailer
Yeah.
to hitch to the back of that, Current RV is
Another one of our sponsors.
they're taking up a whole area and loading it up with, I mean, they'll sell everything. They'll sell campers, you know, which is, I mean, there's no better outdoor bonding experience to make you either realize how much you love or hate your family than to go camping, spend, you know, a week in the woods with your immediate family and a thing this big. But they've got great deals on campers. They're going to have some on display there.
Trailers, if you've got side-by-sides you want to haul, four-wheelers you want to haul, they've got the right trailers, they've got the right size for you.
And Glider City.
Glider City will be there. Glider City Power Sports, he'll be there. He'll have a four-wheeler on display.
Tree Frog?
Tree Frog is another one of our sponsors. Yeah, I mean, Tree Frog camouflage apparel is a really unique thing. I mean, it's so versatile because you can go from all camouflage to snow camo and orange camo all in one, just by flipping some of the material over. It's really a unique thing and kind of neat. I mean, he's got a full display there. He's going to have, you know, all that stuff on sale, and it's really kind of cool. You got to take a look at it and check it out.
But that's the educational thing that we're talking about. You don't have to go and buy anything. You can go, we have people that go and stay for hours, and then they come back the next day and stay for hours because they're just learning stuff about everything that you just don't see, or you might not get the personal touch if you go to a store somewhere to have an expert show you how to use this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite is the Big Buck Club. You know, New York State Big Buck Club. Those, you know, it's the Chemung County. It's Mike Deming, and you know he's going to have some deer that are from Chemung County specifically that were shot that are just giants.
And you can bring your own.
You can bring your own.
As
You can
long as-
actually, yeah, you can come in. You can have him score it. You know, anything. You know, try to make it 8 points or better, and at least 16 inches inside spread. So you know. You don't want to waste his time or your time, but you're welcome to bring it in if you want to. But that's kind of what he's shooting for.
And you had him score one of yours, Joe.
Yeah,
How'd
but
you do?
mine was just a little one.
No, just a little.
But this is definitely an all-day event, Bill. You touched on it earlier. Get there early, stay till the end. There's going to be food. You can bring your family, right? Food to eat. Obviously, the booths you're going to be very busy at.
Yeah, and Wheelers will be there. As usual, they make an unbelievable pork barbecue sandwich that's not to be missed. There,
Yeah.
right when you come into the big bowl of the arena. The way we have it set up, you get downtown in Elmira on March 4th and 5th, and before you even go inside, there's stuff in the street to experience. You walk in the doors and you go around the concourse as if you were going to a hockey game, and there's booths all along the whole concourse with all kinds of things, including our fishing pond, manned by the Boy Scouts. And the smells in that hallway are tremendous. You got a guy selling, you know, maple flavored nuts, and you got this pulled pork coming in, and when you go
Got
into
the
the
popcorn
arena,
going. You know,
we're there all day, and the
Yeah.
smells are amazing.
Split Rock Cafe will also be doing lunches there, so lunches and dinners. So if you want to eat there, you can do that. Eat there and then come back into the show.
And Joe, let me ask you, is it too late to become a part of this if you're a business and outfitter?
Absolutely not. If you're sitting at home and you see this and you have a business and you want to come to our show, we'll find a spot for you, no doubt. We'll make a spot for you if we have to.
Now, Joe, obviously this wouldn't be possible without all the great sponsors. Maybe you could tell us about them
we
again.
want to shout out and put a thanks out to Hesselson's, Ferrario, Current RV, Tree Frog Camouflage, and any of them that I've forgotten, I
Big Fox
apologize.
TV.
Big Fox TV, you know, any of those guys, you know, thank you so much for your support.
And obviously, Frank, we couldn't get to even half of the many great vendors, exhibitors, features, and events going on at the First Arena, March 4th and 5th at the Twin Tiers Outdoor Expo. But right now, we'll roll on the screen just a list of the current number of vendors. As you can see, it's an amazing group of experts and professionals and people that are just passionate about hunting, fishing, kayaking, canoeing, anything to do with the outdoors. And we're blessed to have them. We're really excited to do it
Absolutely.
again this year.
Thanks for joining us on the 5th Annual Twin Tiers Outdoor Expo Show. We'll see you on year 6.